Hey everybody, Mindee here. Today I have a drum lesson for beginners. This is a song I love to teach my beginners. Some good things you're going to learn within this song. Nice steady timing. We're going to keep that bass drum nice and steady, as well as it's a good introduction to learning changes, going from verse to chorus, different parts, and more than just playing the same part over and over like you do with a lot of beginning songs. If you enjoyed this lesson, I have Patreon, and I also give private lessons in Los Angeles and online. So let's look at it. The Hardest Button to Button by the White Stripes. Okay? So the intro, which kind of lasts for a while, what you're going to be doing is just your kick drum on quarter notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Important part here, make sure you don't rush, especially beginners. They want to start speeding up. So really listen into that music and make sure you're nice and solid, nice and lined up. What I do is once the vocals come in, the first time he sings the verse, 2 phrases of it, and I just add that floor tom with my kick drum. So So at the end of the first verse, you're going to have a pickup on count 4. I usually do it as a flam on the snare drum. I do have a lesson just on the flam if you're new to that, but we'll be doing our 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there I do that nice solid flam on the snare with my 4 on that kick drum. And then we're going to move over to the hi-hat, where we're going to do the hi-hat and snare as 1, 2, 3, 4. So hi-hat, kick drum are going to be on 1, 2, 3, 4. Snares on your 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Again, make sure you're nice and steady with that song. It's kind of like still kind of feels like part of the verse, but it's just we're kind of changing the drums to change up the dynamic of the verse. The actual chorus comes in on the hardest button to button, and there you're going to do 1 and 2 and. Your bass drum is just going on 1 and 3, so it's going to hit the first one, 1, and then and 2 and then it's going to hit by itself on 3. So bass drum is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it just kind of goes to half time from what it was doing before. You're gonna pause, and then you're gonna come back with that intro feeling of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once the vocals come in, we'll add that floor tom, and this time we only do that phrase once around. Again, you're going to have that pickup on 4 that takes you into the second part of the verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Then again, you're going to go into that chorus, same thing. The next part kind of is similar to that verse, but it's we're doing it on the crash cymbal instead of the hi-hat, and we're adding an and of 3 on the kick drum, so our bass drum is going to go to 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Still singing the hardest button to button, so it's similar to the chorus, but again, we're changing up what we're doing to kind of add a different dynamic to it. It's going to be loud, playing it on the crash, kind of meant to be that way, so let's look at that. So after that, we're going to go back to the hardest button to button 1 and 2 and. But this time our bass drum is going to be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and in between each one we're going to have one measure of just bass drum. So it's going to look like this. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 1, 2, 4. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Landing it with a flam on that last 4. That's going to take us into that same crash part where we're kind of riding our crash on the quarter notes. Bass drum on 1, 3, and snare on 2 and 4. And after that part, you're just going to end with a... That's the end of the song. So if you're a beginner, a cool thing I would like you to do, listen, and I want you to count the parts and chart the song. Count how many measures are in that intro, just the bass, until he starts singing. How many measures he's singing through that first verse before you move over to your hi-hat. How many measures you're on the hi-hat. How many measures you're doing that chorus. Kind of go back to that intro without vocals, the instrumental bass drum. How many measures there? How many measures where he's singing and you're doing that floor tom? Back to the hi-hat, count how many measures. The next chorus, da, 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 da. How many times do you do that? Crash part, count your measures, da, 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 da. Kick, 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 count the measures, da, 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 da. And then back to that last part, count the measures, so that way you know exactly when you're going to end on the da, 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 da. So yeah, I like to teach this to my beginning students. It's not right away. I kind of use this as an intro to looking at changes within the song. It's a good song to learn how to chart with, because you want to learn about charting, about changing from verse to chorus early on in drumming, but also you might not have the skills to be doing like a lot of fills and fancy stuff. So this song is pretty basic as far as the beats. So it should be something you can get fairly early in your drumming, but also it's hard as in keeping that driving. Sometimes playing quarter notes, playing a medium paced tempo is harder than playing fast because you have to rein yourself in. So it's also good for beginners to work on their timing. So if you do have any questions, if you have any requests, go ahead and send them my way. I give private lessons. I have a Patreon page where you can get longer lessons. You can sign up and also get a monthly private lesson through Patreon. And yeah, I appreciate your support. Thank you guys, and happy drumming. Bye.